My name is Tim, and welcome to this list of things that my wife Sherri and I learned in slow travel during our time in Spain in the spring of 2026. We're traveling full time in our retirement and periodically post a list of things and insights, tips for those who might also be interested in visiting some of the same places that we are. Including ports of call on our transatlantic cruise into Barcelona, we visited 14 cities in Spain from the last few days in April through the end of June. We spent a full week each in Valencia, Santander, and Bilbao, and 4 weeks in Madrid. Here is our list of 10 things we learned during our 2 months in Spain. Number one, Spain is a multilingual country, and it's not as simple as just Castellano and Catalan. What most of us from the US refer to as Spanish or Español when speaking the language is Castellano in Spain. It and Catalan are distinct Romance languages, and each has its own regional dialects. Valenciano is considered by most linguists a Catalonian dialect, but it is sufficiently different from the Catalan spoken in Barcelona that throughout the city of Valencia you will see signage, menus, etc. in Valenciano, Catalan, and Castellano. When we were in Palma on the Balearic island of Mallorca, I asked our guide whether a clearly non-Spanish place name was in Catalan and was told that while the people on Mallorca could speak both Catalan and Castellano, their own language was Mallorquí. In the region that includes Bilbao, along part of the Spanish-French border, the primary language is Basque, which predates and is distinct from not only all Romance, but also all Indo-European languages. So don't assume that what you're hearing on the streets is Castellano, but feel free to try out your own Español, even if it's limited. We found Spaniards in all regions to be very patient with our attempts as we are learning the language. Number two, posted prices include the taxes. This practice is consistent across menus, store price tags, street vendors, everywhere. If you receive an itemized receipt, it will in most instances provide a summary at the bottom showing the breakout of taxes on the total purchase. Given that you will be making mental computations for exchange rates, not having to also add projected taxes onto prices is very helpful when watching your budget. Number three, and speaking of budgets, state museums and many private museums have some free admission hours during the week as part of their public service mission. Sometimes these savings can be substantial, around 15 euros or a bit over $17 per person. But other times the admission fees are already rather negligible, only 3 or 4 euros each. These free admission times occasionally have explicit corporate sponsorships. Guided tours are generally not available during these periods, so check to see whether your tour costs include admission charges. Number four, time zone. Spain uses Central European time, including its summer daylight saving time equivalent, basically from April through October. Since geographically most of the country is south of Great Britain, following Western European time, as Portugal does, might be more expected, especially since it also corresponds to Universal or Greenwich Mean Time. And that was the practice in Spain from around 1900 to 1940, when Franco changed to Central European time to synchronize with Berlin and Rome during World War II. Number five, daily rhythm. Many people will tell you that this pattern of daylight hours either coordinates well with or reinforces, depending on one's point of view, traditional daily rhythms of later starts to the morning, lunch between 1 and 3, and dinner at 8 o'clock or later. It is not uncommon to find that even restaurants that are open between 4 and 7 only offer drinks and light tapas during those evening hours. Restaurants that do offer full dining options during early evening hours may post signs indicating that they have all-day kitchens to let patrons know they can order from the food menu anytime the restaurant is open. Number 6, Menú de Día. Some restaurants will offer fixed price meal options on weekdays during that 1 to 3 p.m. lunch window. That can be among the best dining values. Typically, it consists of a primero, segundo, postre, and a drink with a few options to pick from in each category. Primero is the appetizer, often a soup, salad, or small tapas. Segundo is the main course, and postre is a dessert. The drink offerings will often be a cup of house wine, beer, or a soft drink. Substitutions are not permitted, but the set price will usually be in the 15 to 25 euro range, depending on how fancy the restaurant is. Number 7, tapas etiquette. One practice for those early evening hours when restaurant kitchens are not yet reopened is to stop in at a tapas bar for a glass of vermouth, a cup of wine, or a glass of beer. If you initially order only the drink, it may be accompanied by free tapas. It might be bread, olives, or something else light. Do know, however, that if you order some tapas from a menu at the same time as your drink, you may miss out on the free offering. Locals often wait until after the drinks are served to order anything to eat. Number 8, sangria. And on the topic of drinks, Spaniards seem to be of divided minds about sangria, the combination of red or white wine with fruit juices and maybe a splash of brandy. Some of our culinary guides told us it is only sold for the tourists, and the locals don't drink it. However, we did find it offered in some very local places off the well-trod tourist paths. What the Spaniards clearly do like is tinto de verano. It's a very refreshing drink consisting of roughly equal parts of red wine and a citrus or lemon lime soda. The best one we had was in one of those local haunts, where it was topped off with just a bit of vermouth. Number 9, doing the laundry. If you're staying in a rental rather than a hotel, it may have a washing machine in the unit. Our experience is that these machines have smaller load capacities than their US counterparts, and Spaniards seldom have either gas or electric dryers, using drying racks or clotheslines instead. Additionally, the basic wash cycle options on the machines can run much longer, up to 3 hours or more. If you avoid cotton, you can still start a load in the evening, put it on the rack before bed, and have clean, dry clothes in the morning. Much more convenient overall than finding a laundromat. And finally, number 10, shopping bags. Although you will almost always be asked if you need a bag, or bolsa in Spanish, for any of your purchases, regardless of the type of store, the assumption is that you will have brought reusable bags with you. We have found that having a couple of light nylon bags that neatly stuff into their own pockets to be incredibly useful. They are much easier to keep with you than heavier duty reusable shopping bags that are catching on in the United States. So there you have 10 of the things we learned during our slow travel in Spain. There is so much to see and do in Spain that it is truly deserving of an extended visit. If you have the chance, hopefully these tips will help you to make the most of your time, however slow or fast your travels may be.